welcome back to another episode of our home training programs, and this one's going to up the ante a little bit, and it's going to be a little bit more challenging for you today. So we're going to conduct a mobility and activation warm-up. You're going to follow me through that, and then we're going to grab our kettlebell, and that's all we need today to take us through the workout. It's going to be approximately 30 to 35 minutes in length from start to finish. Now, depending on what weight kettlebell you have, you might want to manipulate the reps slightly. Obviously, if the weight is quite substantial, you might need to bring those reps down 2 or 3 reps. If it's too light, then add 2 or 3 reps on. That's completely up to you. Ultimately, if you have a selection, even better, and you can adjust accordingly. So let's get into it. We're going to start by just mobilizing first and foremost, and loosening the body off a little bit. So if you want to follow me through, the body moves ultimately a little bit better once things are loosened off somewhat, especially if you've been doing something every day to keep yourself active. A bit of mobility work is always welcome, just to loosen you off a little bit. So turn your palm up, nice rotation through. Again, my apologies if you get heavy breathing down the mic. However, it's I guess it's better than no instruction and no audio at all. I'm just doing 2 or 3 sets each side, relatively swiftly as well. I don't want to be stretching. Really, I want to be activating and mobilizing, so there should be a pretty steady flow to what you're doing. Okay, I'm just going to loosen off those hips a little bit. Tend to be quite a tight area, especially if you've been sitting down behind a desk, maybe working from home at the moment, or just that they feel tight in general. I often just try to mobilise for 2 or 3 seconds each time. You're not looking to bounce. That's classified as ballistic. We don't want that. But we certainly do want to get the body moving a little bit. Okay, so let's start tracking. Let's start the workout. And let's start getting the body moving a little bit. I'm just going to do a side profile. I want you to take your leg out, open up the hips, but then just gentle rock back. Stretch, rock it forward, gentle rock back. Again, we're not necessarily staying still, we're just moving the joint a little bit and just warming it up. Switch sides. So foot out, we rock it back. We come forward, we rock it back. Okay. So your joints are full of something called synovial fluid, and it's a bit like engine oil. The warmer it gets, the better. So over the next 4 or 5 minutes, we're just going to mobilise those joints and get them warm. Get the heart rate up a little bit. Get the breathing rate up a little bit, and just prepare the body for what's going to come. Just loosen yourself off again. Whatever feels tight, we just start to mobilise. All the movements that we'll then move into will become somewhat easier, because the body is more prepared for them. It's a strange one today. There's a nice feeling of spring in the air. It's a little warmer than it has been. Again, just keeping the body moving. So we're going from squats to lunges. Just a slight pause at the bottom. Just 2 or 3 reps each side. Again, just mobilizing really at the moment and activating a little bit. Obviously this is a quite familiar territory for you because you would have done some of these at the studio. So I hope you've had a good day, or I hope you have a good day depending on when you're going to be following this program, this session. Hope you're keeping well and that your spirits are high. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit warmer now, 2.5 minutes in. I'm going to activate my core a little bit. You can do this by half plank, so from your knees, looking after your neck, you're not tucking it under, not scrunching it up, you're just neutral. 20 to 30 seconds here. Breathing rate's going up, heart rate's going up. Currently at 110. And then just going to roll over onto my back, switch the glutes on. So if you care to join me, let's go glute bridge, thrust those hips up. A few reps here. Again, this is more the activation stuff now. Squeeze your bum nice and tight. Taking your time to concentrate on your breathing. Going to roll back over. Straight back into that plank position for another activation of the core. Again, you've got the option, if you wish to, you don't want to stay at half, you can go up onto your toes, go to a full plank. So I'm getting a bit warmer now. We're just over 4 minutes in. A nice warm up. We'll be ready to rock and roll very soon. Okay, back onto your back. Let's go hip thrusts again. Squeeze your bum. Rock the pelvis under. What's called a posterior pelvic tilt. So we want to make sure we're squeezing the bum and not lifting through the lower back. Should be getting a little bit warmer now, I'm ready to go. Okay, one last round of full body mobility, big stretch through your back. Have a little wriggle, whatever feels tight, just loosen it off. Up into abdominals. Again, just have a little fidget. Whatever feels tight. Onto all fours, palm up, slide it under. So I'll let you into a little secret. This is the second attempt of this recording today. I was out here this morning, beautiful morning, pretty much like it is now. Went through the whole 35-minute walk routine to find out that the recording stopped after 3 minutes. So as you can imagine, pretty deflated and pretty gutted. But I can assure you that this is a hard or harder session. Again, it's very much individual, depending on what weight you've got. But you can adjust the reps accordingly, as I've said, to make sure that you leave this workout feeling challenged but energized. Right, so I'm warm up 6.5 minutes. Okay, first exercise is your kettlebell front squat, but with a slight difference. We've done this many times before, and it's your 1.5 reps. Across the board, we're doing 3 sets of 10 today. You may think that that's pretty much the standard approach at the moment, but that's because there's so many other variables that we can play around with. So first up, grab your kettlebell, set yourself up into a squat position, front squat position. Embrace those abs. Let's get to it. We've got 3 sets of 10, minimal rest period between each set, 1.5 reps. So let's go. Up we get. A little 1.5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, good. Keep it going. 8, 9, 10. Like I said, this is the second time I've gone through this routine today. It's going to be tough. There's going to be an element of fatigue in there already, because it did challenge me this morning. I've got a 24 kilo kettlebell, and as I'll keep reminding you, if the weight that you've got is not suitable for the reps, that target of 10, drop it down to 7 or 8 reps. If you feel that the weight that you've got is manageable, then ramp it up a little bit. 12, 13, 14, 15 reps. Challenge yourself. Okay, round number 2. Let's get it up. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. Ooh. They are burning. Jesus wept. They're harder than they were this morning. And they were already pretty hard this morning. So, just to recap. 3 sets of 10. Plenty of variables to change. Okay? For example, 3 sets of 10 press-ups are never the same. Particularly if you change the tempo, change the range of movement, reduce the rest periods, increase the rest periods, increase the load, etc, etc. There's always plenty of ways in which we can add variety into our programs. Okay, this one's going to hurt. Legs are burning. Ready? Excuse me. 3, 2, 1. Up we go. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 6. Come on. Nearly there. 1 more. I'm not going to lie, thank God they're over. Okay, catch your breath, use your rest periods to do whatever you want to do. A little bit of water on board, or get yourself set up for your next exercise, which is a variation of a press up. So we're going to use our kettlebell now. What I want you to do is I want you to put your hand through the kettlebell. That's going to create a height difference between your right and your left arm, which means that the arm that's attached to the kettlebell is going to go through a greater range of movement. Therefore, the stimulus is different. It's more challenging. Whether you want to do these on your knees or on your toes, it's completely up to you. It's 3 sets of 10. We're going to do 5 this way, switch hands, 5 the opposite way. Catch your breath. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, 5. Straight swap. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 5. So in comparison to the kettlebell front squat, this exercise is a lot easier for me. My relative strength, for example, my ability to move my body weight is pretty good. Press ups, chin ups, etc., box jumps. But it doesn't mean that you can't change it, make it more challenging, making it easier for you, depending on where you are. So because it's a bit easier for me, I'm going to reduce that rest period. Set number 2. Let's go. So remember, 5 on each side. Excuse me. Okay, set number 2 done. A little bit of water on board. "13 minutes in, heart rate 145 beats per minute. Not bad at all for some home workout, that's for sure. Okay, round 3, third and final. Let's go. Okay, done and dusted. Very good. Again, use your rest period. The next exercise is called a pullover. A bit of grass in my mouth there. It's a tough exercise. So again, if your kettlebell's too heavy, bring the reps down. If your kettlebell's too light, maybe add a couple of reps on. You don't have to use a kettlebell. A weighted rucksack's pretty good. A baby, if you really want to risk it. Sarah, have you read? You know, luckily all my children are inside. So, on your back. Now I'm not looking forward to these because I did them earlier and they were the hardest thing out of the whole session for me, purely just because of the load. So, watch first and join in. Grab your weight by the horns. Let's go, lift it up to your chest, up and over. Go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I'm staying here. So again, that's slightly challenging for me. 24 kilos, and that's a difficulty, but also the interesting part of home training. You have to be able to adjust. So if you've got a kettlebell, like I said, that's too heavy, still do the exercise. Don't compromise your technique. Make sure your form's good. We don't want to risk any injuries, but we manipulate and we work with what we've got. If you're in a luxurious position that you have more options, make use of them. Okay, set number 2 in 3, 2, 1, go. You see when it starts to burn a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so some key things. You're training your lats, so it's a pulling exercise. You're going to get a lot of stretch here. If you can see, it's going to go from your lats, it crosses your shoulders, and it attaches to your upper arm. So you're going to get a lot of tension there, a lot of stretch, and a big pump. The main thing is that we don't let our lower back arch, so we keep the abs nice and tight. Hence the reason why you keep hearing me going because that braces my abs, stops any unwanted postural changes occurring. So we stretch, we touch the floor with the kettlebell, we come back over, we tuck those arms in. That's pretty much full range of movement that you're going to get. The fact that you're laying on the floor, if you're on a bench you might have greater range of movement, but majority of people don't need that greater range due to flexibility issues. So thank God. But it's our third and final set. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. We're in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Come on. 8. Oh my God. I don't know about you, but they're evil. Okay, let's keep it moving. We're doing well, we're halfway. So, like anything, whether we're at the studio or we're at home, all of the programs have balance. So we started off with quad dominant front squat. Really burnt the front of our thighs yet. Other prime movers were working, but it's classified primarily as a quad dominant exercise. We then moved on to press ups. That's your push. We matched that with what's called a pull. So there's equilibrium upstairs. The pull, although not maybe like a ring pull that we're used to, but we train the opposing muscle groups basically. So with that being said, we're now moving back to lower body and we're going with what's called a hip hinge movement. And a hip hinge movement is the opposite to a quad dominant movement in a sense that now the focus is going from our quadriceps to our glutes and hamstrings. So we're going to go back to our firm favourite, which is the kettlebell swing. Again, depending on the weight of the kettlebell that you've got, bring your reps down or put your reps up. That's completely up to you. If you need to pause the video and catch up, whatever you need to do it so that you can stay with the flow of the session. Heart rate's currently at 146 beats per minute and we're just touching on 20 minutes. So let's keep the session going. So grab your kettlebell. I'm going to minimise these rest periods. I'm going to get that heart rate up. I'm going to get this mic lead out of the way. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10. Nice and smooth. Remember to concentrate on technique. You'll probably hear now that I'm getting my breathing back, but I don't find kettlebell swings really that difficult. I would usually use maybe a 28, 32, maybe even a 40, depending on energy levels and rep ranges. So as I said, let's keep the rest periods low. Round 2, 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Use your rest periods as you like. A little bit of water on board. Excuse me. Wrong hole. Okay, third and final. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, well done. If you kept up, you minimise that rest period, you're doing well. Okay, so 2 more exercises to go. We're now going for another pressing movement, another push. 22 minutes in, and we're going for shoulder press. So again, if you've got the opportunity to go a little bit lighter, you've got a couple of kettlebells at home or some dumbbells, use them. Obviously this home workout's designed around one workout, but if you've got the options then use them. Again, if the weight's too heavy, bring your reps down. If the weight's too light, add a few on. I look pretty comfortable with the first 2 sets here, but the third set from earlier this morning, it does get quite challenging. So because we haven't got a seat, we're going to go split stance. Okay, you might get a little bit of an arch in your lower back. Make sure it's controlled. Make sure we're not rocking. Okay, hold the kettlebell like a trophy. And let's go 10 reps in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Concentrate on your breathing. Control it, calm it down. Heart rate's touching on 150 beats per minute, which I will take given the circumstances. So I know that my heart and my lungs are really getting worked. Bit of a cardiovascular workout, even though we're not doing your standard cardiovascular work, your cross trainer, your treadmill, your running, etc. We get it all from making sure that we have structured rest periods, the intensity is correct, etc. Okay, so that's jumped up relatively quickly to 167, so I definitely know I'm working. 23 minutes in, pretty good. Okay, round 2 in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, 1. Apologies for the grunting down the mic, excuse me, but at least it hopefully shows you that this is genuine and I'm working just as hard as you are, no doubt, at home. Little water break. Again, heart rate 164, keeping that rest period relatively low. 24 minutes in, so probably ahead of schedule, probably training a little bit faster than what I did on attempt of recording this morning. I think tomorrow we might have to do a yoga and a stretching routine because I reckon my body will be in bits. Okay, 3, 2, 1, third and final round. Let's go. 1. It always feels good when you complete a set, especially when fatigue is starting to kick in a little bit and the muscles are starting to get a little bit sore. It's always nice to know that you're a couple of reps away from a finished set or a couple of sets away from a finished workout. Okay, so going back to our pull now. So we did swings, lower body, hip dominant, shoulder press, upper body, push or press. Now we're going to go for a pull. So we're going to go squat and pull to finish, get the heart rate going. We're going to really limit the rest periods now. We're going to push for it. So we're 25 minutes in. My heart rate's dropped off. It's not picking it up at the minute, but I definitely know it's still there. So squat and pull again. If the weight's suitable for you, hit 10. If it's a bit light, hit more. If it's a bit too heavy, hit less. Are you ready? Round 1. 3, 2, 1. Drive the elbows. Let's go. 1, 2. So, in comparison to some of the exercises I've done already, a relatively easy exercise in terms of the weight that I'm lifting. I'm not doing any more reps because I'm trying to stay with the flow of the workout. But if you're staying with me, let's keep rest periods to a minimum. Round 2 in 3, 2, 1, go. 1. Well done. One set away from a finished workout and a well-deserved stretch. A couple of minutes ahead of schedule. But hey, we're getting the work done in the time frame that we've got. Hopefully you're enjoying these workouts, hoping that they're really making you work and challenging you at home. Now the difficulty is when home training is sometimes the motivation and the accountability, but just think of things as little tick sheets. You know your sets. We had 6 exercises. We knew we had 3 sets to do of each one. We tick off each exercise as we go, and we don't give in. We go all the way to the end. Third and final set, squat and pull. Let's finish this off strong. Now you're telling me that doesn't feel good. That final set of that final exercise to end the workout. Oh, it feels good. Like I said, especially when it's the second time around. Technology, eh? And there I was thinking that I was going to become some kind of Instagram or YouTube sensation. I can't even press the record button. Okay. Hit the deck. Take a minute just to concentrate on your breathing. Now I was saying in this morning's recording how much training outside on days like today, albeit a little bit cooler, reminded me of when I used to run a boot camp in Spain on the beach, shorts and t-shirts, barefoot in the sand. Incredible times, and hey, not much different today. Beautiful clear skies, a few scattered clouds, relatively fresh for a March day, but perfect for an outdoor workout if you've got the space. So breathing rates come back down. We're touching on 29.5 minutes. Heart rate's just below 120. Let's start stretching. Hug your knee into towards your chest, just one leg at a time. So as I always say to you at the studio, you can follow my lead, 10 to 15 second stretch on each side, or you stretch whatever feels tight for you. We've all got our own aches and pains and tightnesses and weaknesses, so whatever feels tight for you, we loosen it off. So glutes next, fold the leg over. I like keeping my foot flat and pushing the knee out just to get a little bit more external rotation through the hip. But if you wish to pull your leg in, that is also absolutely fine. Again, just 10 to 15 seconds on each side, just enough to kind of rest the body a little bit and try to return to our pre-workout state, albeit slightly warmer, sweatier, and possibly a little bit more energized. Okay, sit yourself up, soles of your feet together. Push those knees down. Again, just concentrate on your breathing. Whatever feels tight for you. Next one, just fold the front leg over. Spray the other leg back and behind. Get a nice stretch for your glutes, lay yourself down. I'm not sure if you can see it from this angle, but I'll give you an alternative angle in a second. 10 to 15 seconds here, just stretching deep into those glutes. Switch sides, I'll come over here. So fold that leg over, Excuse me, fold the leg over, sit it back, and stretch. Okay, lean on your front, push up, stretch your abs out. Again, just concentrating on your breathing. Have a little movement, stretch things off a little bit, sit it back onto your heels. Okay, let's go hip flexors next. Oh dear. Well, I hope you have a great day, whatever you have planned. Great afternoon, great evening, depending on what time of day you're following this routine. I hope you enjoyed today's workout, whether you've done it on its own or added it onto a previous video. I hope it served you well. Let's get your shoulders loosened off a little bit. Just deep breaths, just concentrating on that breathing. Another side. And shake it off. Okay, thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this workout. Come back very soon for the next edition. Take care of yourselves.